What's up, y'all? It's Rhett from Carolina Takedown Talk. Do you want an opportunity to get better? Do you want an opportunity to train with the best coaches in the state and some of the best clinicians in the state? We're talking D1 guys. We're talking D2, D3. We're talking All-Americans. And I can't even count how many North Carolina State champions are going to be here as clinicians for you guys. All right. The United States Marine Corps Sports Leadership Academy, presented by the United States Marine Corps, is hosting a free, you heard it right, free clinic on April 30th at the Greensboro Coliseum complex. All right. Like I said, this is a free, one-of-a-kind wrestling experience. You don't want to miss it. If you're in the state of North Carolina, if you're in the state of South Carolina, if you're in Tennessee, Virginia, if you're around anywhere, you want to be there. Coach Justin Hardy is going to be the head coach. He's the new head coach for Greensboro College Wrestling. All right. So instantly, you're going to have a college coach in the building right there. Okay. You're going to get a free camp shirt, free lunch, and a free swag bag, and access to camp photos and videos. Okay. Whenever you sign up, go to the registration link. We're going to post it in our bio. Make sure you heard it from a podcast / YouTube. All right, you guys really help us out by that. Like I said, this is not something that you want to miss. Wrestlers 14 to 19 are eligible to attend. Y'all, if y'all want to get better, if you didn't reach your goals this year or you just want to get better, don't miss it. It's going to be an awesome opportunity. Be there. What's up, y'all? It's Rep from Carolina Takedown Talk. We are here with the best upperweight in North Carolina of the season. Proved it, state champ, bumps up to heavyweight, wins a 4A state title, national All-American and finalist, Carson Floyd from Lake Norman. What's going on, man? Thanks for coming on.
Thank you for having me.
So we're here to talk about where you're ending up, where you're gonna spend the next 4, maybe more years of college and wrestling. But we want to talk a little bit before that, before you make your big announcement, just about how you got here. Like, when'd you start wrestling?
So I was a little late to the game. I started wrestling in 7th grade. And so I was horrible. Like, I did not start on my middle school team, and I got killed every tournament I went to. I didn't win a single tournament up until freshman year at a JV tournament. And so it wasn't like I was someone that was like been wrestling forever, or I had just amazing talents. Like, it was nothing like that. It was purely like all my coaches helping me get here.
Product of hard work, huh?
Yeah.
So you talked about your coaches. So you wrestle for combat along with, of course you went to Lake Norman High School. One of the premier programs in the state. Josh Stanley has built something pretty special there. It's tough to argue, I think one of the best dual environments also there, which just makes it a lot of fun and, is great for the sport, especially in our state. But talk a little bit about like your coaching staff and the coaches that you've worked with from middle school, to now.
So middle school, I had a really great coach named Coach Yarrow. He's the coach of Vision Quest. And so 7th grade, he was like the one that started me, and he is the reason why I stuck with it, because I was decent 8th grade year, and I could have won conference. I was about 137, and on conference day I weighed 135, but my coach bumped me up to 145. And so I actually had to wrestle Mike Rink from South Iredell, and I lost. That was my 3rd loss to him this season. And ever since then, I've just been on a grind, because I was like, the reason why I lost is because I didn't put any work in that off season from 7th to 8th grade. And so right after that, I started going to every practice and pretty much didn't miss a practice after that. He put me with Timmy Kennett, Lake Norman alumni, and Timmy would just beat the crap out of me. And I got way better by freshman year. And then freshman year, I had to work with Nate and Miles Chapman. Got choked out a lot. Won't lie. Like I got my butt handed to me. And then sophomore year, that's when I made the change to combat, and Coach Josh became my head coach. And I was pretty good sophomore year. Placed fourth at states. And after losing states or getting fourth, I got tech fall during the state tournament. I actually went and stayed at combat for 2 weeks and just slept in the locker room and just trained jiu-jitsu and wrestling and weight training. And like I would run like 5Ks with like a weighted vest and just bunch of stuff. Like,
yeah,
because I was on mission. Like I did not want to lose again. Like I always want to become the best person in my.
As Yara would say, you were on a vision quest, huh?
Yeah, I'm trying to be the best version of myself in all aspects, and so I knew other people were going to be grinding during COVID, so I was not going to let them pass me, and so I just went on terror and just try to like make a name for myself. And so like that was like a big thing. And ever since then, losing states last year, I got a lot better since then. And I would probably tech fall myself last year if like that happened.
Right. No, you definitely jumped levels this year, man. I mean, it was something that we kind of followed and we like watched happen of just like jumping to a different level. Like you could just tell that the mindset was different for you this year. Yeah. What was the biggest thing? Was it that state finals loss? Was that like the biggest factor of it, or was it more of, this is my last go at it, or was it a little bit of both?
So after states last year, I wasn't mad that I lost. I remember I lost, and like, I'm not someone that I won't go throw my headgear. I'm not someone like that. Like after I lost, I went to the other gym and started running. And like, I was just thinking to myself, I beat that kid last year. I beat Caleb Beatty last year in the blood rounds 8-1, and then lost to him the next year. So that means he must have gotten better than me because I took it easy. And so after that moment, I was just like, I'm not going to take a break. Like I jumped straight that I lost on Saturday. Sunday was my banquet. I went to combat, which is a 45-minute drive, went there and lifted in the morning and then drove back to the banquet. And I just did not stop. I changed my whole wrestling style to match his. And I wanted to wrestle him again. I was going to cut to 95 just to like get redemption.
Or do anything you could, huh?
Because I wanted to like redeem myself, but then it ended up like changing. It was like, because he's a very, very nice guy. I love Caleb Beatty. It's like shout out
to him, man. He's one of those guys that I think, we talked a little bit off air, but I think that, you're kind of passing the torch to him and another guy in the state of, who's the number one big guy now. I think that you kind of proved it this year, but you're kind of passing the torch to him. So, shout out really quick to Caleb Beatty there. Yeah, keep going.
He's a great wrestler. And like, it was just like, after losing to him, I was like, I need to like redeem myself. And so like, I was just training nonstop and like, just studying film, like figuring out what I did wrong and all that stuff. And it's funny because like I lost that state title because I shot under him and didn't finish my shots. And then come back to now, I won a state title because I shot under someone and didn't finish my shots. So it's just like, it's hard to tell like how much I've improved, but it was also like kid was like a lot bigger.
Yeah.
I will say I did not give heavyweight enough credit. I didn't realize how good Ryler Mann was. Like he is a legit wrestler.
Yeah.
Like if he was going, like if he went to a national tournament, he would have placed at NHSA Nationals without a doubt.
Oh, I think so too. I mean, and apparently I haven't seen all of his game footage, but from the little bit that I've seen from Kerry, NC State's getting a monster on the field too.
Yeah.
Guy, just an awesome athlete.
Making it interest me. Like,
yeah, dude, he's a monster.
yeah.
I mean, we posted that clip of him like standing straight up with the guy at state tournament. It's just like, dude, this is heavyweights, like, and that's a real heavyweight, and you're literally just shouldering somebody.
I was like getting my hand, like at one point in the match, like I lost, he broke my grip, and like I have an insane grip. Like, it's like everyone talks about it is because like I would just shoot under people and get my hands locked and wait
and then
until
just go to work.
tired.
Yeah.
Normally people like will like I would get tired out. I don't tire out in that position. I get my hands locked. He broke my grip. I had to like re-grip. Like I had both my middle fingers crossed, and I was getting around his whole leg. It was just like massive.
He's a monster, man. Yeah. That was like two Titans on a collision course this year. Yeah. You know, it kind of is I like say of like just watching you guys kind of be on the same path and finally meet in the finals. You know, and so it's just, but so losing that one, and, you know, you come back working.
Yeah.
You don't take a day off, keep grinding. You finally reach the goal, win a state title this year. You know, I mean, just, it's got to feel great. Yeah.
I mean, I'm someone that like, I'm not going to sell like the biggest names the names I remember are the people I lose to, not win against. Like I know pretty much everyone that I lost to sophomore, junior, and senior year. Like I know every single name, and I could list it off, and that's 20 losses. And it's like, I don't look at it as a match like, oh, I won, I did good. Or I lost, I did bad. It's like, I went in that match thinking I wasn't in the right mindset because I did not want to lose another state title. And so I didn't wrestle like how I should have. I hit no slide bys. I got to my low leg attacks twice and didn't finish. And so it was just like, it was that repeat of I need to get back in the room and wrestle. And so like, it just proved to me even more that I need to get better if I want to like perform out of college. Right.
No, definitely. So before we get into the college talk, right? So that's the big reason for for why we're here today. You know, is there anybody special you want to shout out from, you know, your high school career or anything like that?
I would like to shout out my parents. They've done a lot for me. They've traveled. Right now I'm in my wrestling room, which is amazing. Like I have a pull-up bar behind me and like a nice like mat. And like I train with Chad Walsh here, who's an amazing wrestler, and like Josh Stanley for letting me like train at combat and like helping me so much throughout. Calvin King, he was one of my workout partners. Him and Hunter Testa were like my main two workout partners when I went to combat. I've been training with them for a year and a half, and like we all leveled up like together. And so like it's cool like watch us all like get better. Cause like Calvin, he went from like he made it to the blood rounds this year and lost to Ian Murdoch, who's an absolute killer.
Yeah.
And so it was hard for him because like he didn't qualify as freshman and sophomore year, qualified for states and lost last year, and then did not place this year. And so it's just like, it doesn't show how much he leveled up. Like, cause he's like a legit person. He has an amazing fireman's and like, he's going to do super good at college. And so like, I love seeing that. And like, same with Testa, he's done amazing. And like his progress is shown, but like they were great workout partners. JT Richard, and Sakari, those were my workout partners. Like during season, I would always practice with them. Greg Murrayman and Drew Pepin, I practiced at combat a lot with them. So those were like really good partners.
Yeah. And so there's another like organization that you're pretty active with. that, you do a lot with we see them post you all the time and you're always wearing their shirt on the podium. I think you have it on right now, man. Tell us a little bit about Combat for Connection.
So Combat for Connection is a mental health awareness program. And so the way it got started is this kid, his name was Anthony Foraker. He ended up committing suicide on, I think, Christmas Eve. And so he was an upcoming freshman at Lake Norman. And it was hard to hear because I had an ex that attempted suicide like while we were in a relationship. And so like after that happened freshman year, and so after that happened, it like really opened my eyes to the world. And like I wanted to like be there for all my teammates and stuff like that. Cause after that happened, like I went into a dark place, and like the people that I knew I could lean to were my teammates. Like if I needed to talk about something, I was going to talk to my teammates. And so having upcoming freshmen not know like they could talk to me, it was just like, I want to change something about this. And like I was in like a good place there, and like I wanted to like do something. I was trying to get into the community. I was going to start volunteering at like a soup kitchen or something, just some way to give back. And then like this happened and like presented me that opportunity to like do something I really care about. And I talked to Miss Williams, and then we had the thing where I had a really long mullet.
And it's coming back, I see.
It is. It's getting really long now.
Yeah.
And we said if we raise $1,000, we were trying to figure out a price. We were going to do 500, and I was like, I feel like we can get 1,000. And so we did $1,000, and we wanted to do $1,000. If we raise that, I will cut my mullet. And we made the goal within 2 days, and it was an amazing feeling because it felt like I like was helping.
Yeah, made a difference, man.
Yeah. And so, and people are always giving, like Dry Pro, they just donated $1,000 to Combat for Connection. And they gave me a scholarship and said that like, since I've like done so much with Combat for Connection, they're also going to donate $1,000 to them.
Wow.
And so that was like really big. And like my vision for Combat for Connection is to be able to have big names like Jesse Porter and like Kamal Bay and like big names come in and do clinics at like clubs around North Carolina. And during the clinics, we're able to talk about suicide awareness and like give kids opportunity to like come in and like
hear about it. Yeah.
Get amazing like technique from like
no
the
doubt.
best in the world. And like, so they're like now aware of the stuff that's going on and like what to do in that situation.
Yeah.
When I was put in the situation, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know if I should tell their parents or if I shouldn't. And it was something like I needed. I was too young to know. And I feel like people should know what to do. Like people should know what that stuff does.
No, for sure, man. And that's awesome. I think it's great. You're, making that difference and using the platform that you already have. And, changing that stigma a little bit and kind of educating people and helping an organization like that grow. That's awesome.
And like, a big thing is like one thing that pushes me is I want to become the best wrestler. But if I'm just wrestling for myself, I feel like I'll get like conceited and stuff like that. Like I want to have something to wrestle for. And so I take these programs. I wrestled pretty much every one of my matches with autism awareness socks.
Yeah.
And I wear this shirt around. And so it's like winning preseason nationals was big for me because first thing I want to talk about on the interview, because they interviewed the champions, I went and talked about Combat for Connection.
Yeah.
And like, that's something I've always wanted to do is like build a name for myself so I can talk about stuff that matters. And so they gave me that opportunity, and like, I want to take that as far as I can. No,
yeah, that's awesome. And, I think that's a good segue of, working towards the goal of being a national champion in college, right?
Yeah.
And keeping on building that goal and, that name, for an organization like that for yourself. So we had a top 5, right? You had Clarion, American, Roanoke, Chattanooga, and App State.
Yep.
An impressive list, an impressive top 5. So where's the mullet? Where's Carson Floyd heading to?
So I will be continuing my academic and athletic career at App State.
There we go. Awesome, man.
It was a really big decision, a really hard one to make, but those schools that you listed off, they were great to me. They did everything. They were great schools, but App State really set the bar. They were the last visit I went on, and when I went there, I was like, oh, Clarion has great staff. American has great team. Chattanooga, they have great coaches. And then I go to App State and I'm like, they have everything. I was blown away. I didn't think that you could have all their facilities are amazing. Coach Bentley is amazing. And their wrestling, I watched one of their practices and every single person in there was drenched. And it just reminds me of going in, and I would be wrestling with Dugan and I lost 7.5, 8 pounds of practice, just from wrestling with Dugan and just losing a bunch of water weight. It was just insane. And remember how hard those practices were, and seeing them do that right before nationals or right before SoCons. It was just this is the place I need to be.
Yeah. Awesome, man. So what are you projecting to wrestle there? 97, heavyweight, 84? Where are you going? What do you think now, at least?
Either 97 or heavyweight. I'll probably end up redshirting my freshman year and trying to figure out where I'm going to go on weight-wise.
Yeah. Do you know what you're going to be studying yet?
Wrestling. I'll be honest, I wouldn't be going to college if it wasn't for wrestling.
Right. And, well, I think wrestling is we did an interview with with Santonio Thompson a few weeks back, and the theme of the interview was kind of where can wrestling take me? And so I think it's awesome just that guys are being able to use wrestling as a vehicle, to get that college education, but also to, chase their athletic goals. Yeah. Did App State's, I guess, track record here recently, did it affect you a little bit? And track record sometimes can be misconceived as a bad thing, but, they've kind of become North Carolina's school, right? Yeah. You've got NC State, you've got UNC, you've got Davidson and Campbell and Gardner-Webb, but App State is bringing in the top North Carolina guys and is turning them into All-Americans. Turning them to national qualifiers. Did that have a big impact on you and, and your decision?
Yes, because some of those big schools that you just named, they can produce All-Americans, of course. But when you're taking someone that was a high school All-American and producing them into a college All-American, that's impressive. But when you take someone like App State does, where it's their kids don't win state titles. Yeah,
some of them don't win state titles. Now they do have their studs, but
state titles.
Yeah,
and go off and win, or go off and place at SoCons. And I don't know if John did win states or not, but he was not.
I want to say that he won it his senior year. Yeah. I don't remember. I hate that I don't remember that because I know we talked to him. But no, I get exactly what you're saying though. Of just they bring it, don't get me wrong, they bring in North Carolina studs, right? They've got of course now they brought in you, but they brought in Tristan Norris, they brought in Caleb Smith, John, you go back to Austin Trotman, you go back to Dom Parisi. Yeah. They bring in these North Carolina monsters, the Flitz, that, but not all those guys were Not all those guys were like top recruits coming out of high school, but by the time their career was done at App State, Denzel Desjardins, I can't believe I forgot him. But like these guys maybe wouldn't have been like massive recruits, but by the time John Mark was done with them, they're monsters. Like they're absolute animals. And I've said it before and I'll say it again, that John Mark Bentley is the best developmental coach in the whole country. Yeah. And I love it. I love that you're going there, man. I'm super excited to see you and follow your career there. I'm glad you're staying in the state, staying in North Carolina. We'll get to watch you. We go up to, this past year went up to the App State Open and loved being up there. We're going to try to get back to a few duels this year. And, man, I'm excited, cheering for you, proud of you. And I appreciate you coming on, man.
All right. Thank you.